A video doorbell is a must-have these days, especially with crime on the rise in some areas. You need to look out for you and your family. Around us, we've seen more house break-ins, car break-ins, and packages being stolen. So having a doorbell can help deter some of that. It definitely brings us more peace of mind, especially with my wife and I traveling. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the new Aqara G4 Video Doorbell. This has some great features with it. It can save you money with local recordings. It works with all the smart assistants. It can be powered with batteries or hardwired, and the clips look great on it. Let's take a look. Now this video is sponsored by Aqara. I've been using their stuff for years. I have buttons, contact sensors, motion sensors, hubs, and cameras throughout the house. So when they reached out to me to take a look at the G4 Video Doorbell, I thought it would be a great chance to share it with you guys. This is not going to be a full review of this. I haven't used enough for that. Instead, we're going to go over some of the features that this brings to the table, like 24/7 recordings and HomeKit Secure Video, among a bunch of other stuff. If you'd like to check out the G4, I'll put links in the description. The G4 Video Doorbell is available in black or this shadow gray color. The G4 Video Doorbell is priced well at $119.99. In the box, you get the doorbell and you get the Chime. This Chime serves three purposes. It is the Chime, so you can hear the doorbell ring. It serves as a Wi-Fi extender so that you can extend the signal to the doorbell for stronger Wi-Fi. And last, it stores your recordings on a micro SD card. With the Chime, you can go in the app and pick one of the three ringtones they have in there, or you can add your own ringtones. This also has a 95 decibel siren in it that can be paired up with Aqara sensors to create an alarm system. Now, something to note is that since this is HomeKit certified, the encryption is up to Apple's standards. So that means the signal between the doorbell and the Chime is well encrypted. Now, your existing doorbell Chime is not going to work with this, but you can pair it up with some smart speakers. So you can use Echoes or HomePods as chimes. You would just go under the settings and you pick which ones you'd want to use for announcements under the Echoes. Or for HomePods, you go into the Home app and you just check which ones you want to act as a chime for the doorbell. The G4 is a 1080p camera. It has a 162-degree wide-angle lens on it. Here's a look at some of the footage during the day. Here's a look at a clip saved from Apple's Home app using Apple Secure Video. The video looks good, but being a 1080p camera, it's not super sharp. I like that you can still record long clips on battery. But if you want to get the most out of this camera, hardwired is a way to go. That way you get the 24/7 recordings. You can always go back and record longer clips to catch whatever happens. It'll automatically switch over to night vision when needed. Here's a little bit of nighttime footage. Now for privacy, the G4 does have masking zones. So for neighbors, houses, or other things you want to block out, you can just touch the screen and black those parts out so they won't be recorded at all. Now to mount the G4, it's really easy to do. There is a little security screw on the side. You unscrew that and you can slide the mount off. And you can use either the included screws to mount it to the wall, or if you can't mount it permanently, on the back is double stick tape. You just peel that off, attach it wherever you want, and you're good to go. Also in the box, Aqara did include a 20-degree angle mount, so you could just give it a little turn if you need to. It's nice that this doorbell can do both hardwired and battery powered. You do 6 AA batteries and that'll last you 4 months on a charge. I do appreciate that the Aqara G4 works with all the smart assistants. So many of the video doorbells out there don't work with Apple's HomeKit. Not only does it work with Apple's HomeKit, it actually brings HomeKit Secure Video, which we'll talk about in a minute. I love that I can also bring it up on my Apple TV or Fire TV. If the doorbell rings, you could have it automatically pop up on the Echo Show. With Google, you could bring it up on their devices. You can also take advantage of the G4 to trigger Alexa routines or HomeKit automations. Now, one of the cool things about the G4 is that it will gain Matter support in the second half of the year. If you're not familiar with Matter, it is a new smart home protocol that has come out recently. AI Matter devices are going to work with any of the smart assistants. So you can easily walk into a store, see a Matter logo on it, and know it doesn't matter if you're using Apple, Google, or Amazon, it's just gonna work. So it's good that this has that Matter certification coming. So now let's talk about recordings. When you get a motion or doorbell ring recording, they are saved locally on the Chime. Now with the Chime, you can add up to a 512 gigabyte micro SD card in it. And what it'll do is if it's hardwired, you can do 24/7 continuous recording. And once the card is filled up, it'll just start recording over the older footage first. If you're using battery powered, any of your events that are triggered will be saved onto that SD card. Now, anytime there's an event that is triggered, a 6-second clip is made. That little 6-second clip is what's pushed out to you in the form of a notification. Those 6-second clips can also be stored in the cloud for free for up to 7 days. And that's where you can start saving some money with this thing. Instead of going with some other doorbells where you have to pay monthly for cloud storage, you can just take advantage of the free storage and local recordings instead. It's nice to not have to keep spending money on your devices after you purchase them. When you do have recordings, you can go into the Aqara app and you can take a look at the timeline. If you have it hardwired and have 24/7 recording on, you'll just see a continuous recording that you can scroll through. Now, if you're on battery powered, you can just go between each of the events. What's nice is when events are triggered, you do get that little 6-second clip, but it'll keep recording until motion's no longer detected. So you're not stuck with some small clip that cuts off before you actually see what happens. Now, when it comes to motion detection and false alarms and all that, I've had good luck with this so far. I haven't had it go off with people just walking down the street or with cars driving by. Instead, it's only gone off when it's identified someone being there. And when it goes off, if it's someone that's recognized, it will say their name. If not, it'll say an unknown person is there. And if that person's hanging out for a while, it'll say unknown person lingering there. I do appreciate that I haven't had random trees, birds, and whatever else set this thing off. Now, when it comes to someone ringing the door, you can pick your own tones for it. You can speak to the person through the doorbell. And one of the cool little things with this is if you want to protect your identity or have some additional privacy, you can pick one of the 3 voices to use to talk to the person outside. You can choose the uncle voice, robot, or clown voice. So nobody needs to know what you really sound like. If you're an Apple user, you might appreciate this next one. This is the first video doorbell to support Apple's HomeKit Secure Video. If you're not familiar with HomeKit Secure Video, what that does is it takes all the recordings, which are processed locally on your Apple devices, and then saves those recordings into your iCloud account for 10 days. I do like that you can access all your recordings right within Apple's Home app. Now, what you're going to find if you use this with Apple is that you're going to have options within the Home app that you don't have within the Aqara app. You can control things like whether this streams and records or just streams, or it turns off completely based on who's home or not. You can use your photo library to identify people that come to the door. This can take advantage of Apple's AI to determine whether it's an animal, a person, a package, or a car. You can also set up zones that it pays attention to right within Apple's Home app. So using this with Apple's HomeKit and the Home app, you do get some other features that you're not going to get with some of the other assistants. A lot of what makes this doorbell work really well is the local AI. When capturing footage and identifying who's in that footage, it is processing all that stuff locally. Your face is not going up to the cloud to be identified and then to the app to let you know Craig's at the door. No, all that stuff is just handled locally. With AI, you could take advantage of face recognition to trigger automations. So if I walk up to the door and it sees it's me, it could turn on my office lights in here. On the other side of that, you could take advantage of facial recognition to trigger an automation if someone's outside the door that you don't recognize at night. maybe have some lights turn on automatically. Now, to take advantage of some of those advanced face recognition features, you do need to write those automations within the Aqara app. I do appreciate that the Aqara doorbell works with all the smart assistants. It's going to be future-proof with Matter support. You have that local storage, so you don't need to pay for cloud recording costs. Overall, this is a great doorbell with some very nice features. Go check it out. I'll put the link down in the description. And when you're done with that, make sure to check out this video over here, because the smart home is changing. There are things you should be aware of before you go out and buy devices. I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Bye.